Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Storm King's Thunder, episode 13, right here on Proficiency Bonus. I am so sorry when we tried this new Discord video chat. As soon as I switched over to it, it decided it just wanted to go and explode. So I think I got us somewhat back online. Somewhat. There we all are. Say hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
That was one of us, but
It was one of us, yeah.
Hey, I'm big enough for three of us.
Everybody's.
No dwarves.
true.
I'm trying to get Christy's video to pop up here.
You are like 7 feet tall.
It looks like Christy may be rebooting.
Reboot.
We dropped her out of the chat, too.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Sorry about the technical issues. We're going to try to get those worked out, as always, because it wouldn't be a night on Proficiency Bonus unless we didn't. I mean, we got to have a technical issue. We just do. That's how we roll.
It's what we do here. Yeah.
It's part of what makes us us. So. Anyway,
subscribe and you can change that.
Yeah. If you,
we'll be able to afford these equipment.
We might be able to afford something better than junk, which is what I feel like we have sometimes. I'm sorry, guys. So anyway, I'm gonna kind of forgo the announcements. If you want to check out the announcements, I'm gonna link them to the other video, part 1, when things didn't go drastically terrible. Also, just a quick recap from last time that we were together, which was 2 weeks ago. Last week we had an awesome one-shot going on here on Friday night, run by Matthew. So if you get a chance, go ahead and take a take a look at that video. It's up on our Twitch channel and soon to be up on our YouTube. 2 weeks ago, on episode 12, the face-off between Zulkin and Kella of the Zentrum in the middle of Nightstone took place, with Diana and Callista, Lachlan and Mulfin all kind of being in the middle of it. Things got a little bit crazy. Kella and Zulkin started to fight in the middle of Nightstone. Callista was none too shy to transform into her bear form and jump in there and slay Kella in the middle of Nightstone. There were several people who decided that Kella shouldn't be killed and healed her back up, and I think Callista decided that she needed to fall again. So it was just Kella getting up, Callista bear pawing her back down to the ground. We found out that Zulkin may not have been exactly who he said he was, even though his feelings probably for Diana were probably legit, but just because his feelings are legit doesn't mean he was a good guy. Diana, for some reason I can't hear you. Is your mic muted? Are you?
Uh-oh.
It looks like your lips are moving, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, my mic is working. It's just when I plug in my headphones.
There you go.
Anything. So, and I keep my headphones in during the intro just so that way, like, before everything gets loud, I don't disturb my family.
Ah, gotcha. That's
She didn't turn on her backing track, and she's been lip syncing the whole time.
Nice. Look what you made me do. You knew it was coming. A little bit of tea.
You
didn't like that, Zoss? Come on, that's a little bit of tea Swifty for you tonight.
Come on.
Awesome. After the resolution occurred with the Zentrum, Zulkin and some of his goons, they were all able to escape on horseback out of Nightstone. The rest of the party proceeded to have a long rest since it's been several episodes since our party has actually calmed down and took a long rest.
Yeah.
So after the long rest, Mulfin and Moby had discovered that there was a large tower with a blue wizard's hat protruding from the top of the tower. Aloft on a cloud about 1,000 feet above Nightstone. A spiral staircase of, it says in the book, actually, this cloud stuff started to descend. That is the exact terminology in Storm King's Thunder.
Cloud stuff.
Cloud stuff. Yeah, it's made of cloud stuff. Descended down, and Moby could not resist. So dragging.
like
Go ahead.
That's just so lazy.
Yeah,
I feel like that's just so lazy on Wizards of the Coast. Like, you know, it's just cloud stuff.
Cloud
Who
stuff.
wrote Storm
They got
King's
to too
Thunder?
much detail. It's just, it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
you know.
So,
Just Bergen's don't look at you. Man.
yep,
Chris Perkins.
yep. It's on page 33, the second sentence. Stairs made of firm cloud stuff. So, yeah,
Firm.
yep, it's firm.
I see him at a convention and just kind of shake my head.
Cloud stuff. So, Moby could not resist. He had to run, and Molfin trying his hardest to keep up with him at his old age. Started heading up. The rest of the party noticed them as they were about a quarter of the way up these descending, or these spiral staircase. Once they reached the top, the spiral staircase was lifted from the ground, trapping our adventurers on this cloud with a tower on it, 1,000 feet in the air. As they entered the tower, a large creature started to softly float from what looks like the second story down to the first, and started to communicate with the our heroes, letting them know that he was speaking with some extra planar entities that told him to come to Nightstone, where he would find the ones who would restore the ordning of the giants. And where we left off last time, the interesting giant started to levitate back up to the second floor, agreeing to take you guys to Bryn Shander after letting you know it would take you 26 days to get there.
Learn a skill.
And Molfin was on his way, kind of levitating up with the giant. So, let's dive right in tonight. And so the story is told. Molfin, as you are levitating, you crest the stone floor of the second story, and I'm going to go ahead and reveal this to you guys. The second floor, if you guys scroll on your map, wait, hold on a second, let me reveal areas right here. You'll be able to see the second floor now. And
We actually have line of sight on. We can't.
you can't see the second floor?
No, we'd have to have our tokens moved over because of the line of sight.
Okay. Let me move your token, Molfin.
Oh, hey, I'm outside.
Yep, and now you're in the second floor, up above. If you keep scrolling up.
There's a bed.
uh,
I'm in the giant's bedchamber.
oh.
Oh, I disappeared.
I accidentally moved you. That's my bad.
It's a big bed, JJ.
It's a pretty ginormous bed.
Is that what we're exchanging? Like,
Are you
hey,
guys
it's
able
up
to see
bed
this
from
image?
Shander, like, if you want
I
to sleep in that
see
bed.
I can see a giant.
this
Dude
dude with like legit gauges
yeah,
going on.
yeah, he has some serious gauges. But this is the figure that you guys see. He stands about 18, 19 feet tall. He does have these golden gauges and this purple long. It has a kind of like a turtleneck to his cloak that has all these gold adornments on it, some stars and moons and things like that. This hair of his is just very thin, and it almost like looks like it's constantly like blowing in the wind as he's standing in front of you. But as he gets up to the second floor, he doesn't notice you at first, Molfin. He starts to just kind of walk over towards this orb that seems to be hovering about 10 feet above the floor. It's a very shiny. It almost looks like glass, but it seems like it was possibly made out of something else. It has a very arcane sense of glow coming from it as he approaches it. And he's just kind of slowly walking up towards it as you kind of set your feet down onto the stone of the second story.
Did we get his name when we met him last week?
I don't think you guys ever
remember.
introduced yourselves to him. He just said that you were the ones. That's about it. That's all he said.
So, landing on the ground, Molfen will look up at him and call out in Giant. Oh there, friend. I wish to speak with you for a moment, if I may.
He's a little bit startled as you talk to him, especially as you talk to him in Giant. And he just looks down at this little gnome creature down there. He's like, oh, little one, how did you get up here?
You and I have that in common, my friend. And Molfen will sort of levitate a couple of feet off the ground. I was hoping that we might be able to share and compare notes, see what we can learn from each other during this journey as we head to Bryn Shander.
Oh, you're a note taker.
Well, I take notes and keep my spells in my spell book. I am hoping we can confer and see if there's any that I have you may be interested in, and what you may have that I may be interested in.
Oh, well, a small one. You are very intriguing. Oh. No. Have you seen my library? And he points to the sides of the walls where there are bookshelves that are attached to the walls about 20 feet up, 40 feet up, and 60 feet up. Jammed packed with these enormous books that look like, I don't know, it looks like artist sketchbooks and journals and all kinds of stuff. Pieces of parchment and paper like hanging out of the tops of them and everything. Enormous library that wraps around the whole lower half of what you're seeing.
Oh my. This is... I have no words.
What does your library look like?
Well, it is... From your point of view, it is probably a much smaller building. But we have tomes of the history of the realm and different magical effects. I spent most of my time working in the arcane section, so reading on things. I would have liked to have read something on that fancy orb you've got over there. That thing looks absolutely intriguing. But reading on the different schools of magic and ways to perform the arts.
Oh, you mean this orb right here? This one, and he kind of pats it with it kind of tings a little bit as he like hits his hand off of it. This one.
Yes, it is.
This orb is the navigation orb. This is how I get the tower from place to place.
Learn how that works.
This is. It seems an arcane device. I'm assuming must be somehow tied to you, or could anyone be able to operate this device?
Oh, yeah. Well, make a persuasion check.
It's early. I'm not going to burn it this quick. Let's see here. Let's see if this crotchety old man and the giant get along with this -1.
Hey, Sarah B85. How are you doing? Glad that you're joining us today.
Persuasion. Come on the roll. Maybe a little reverse psychology. About what I was expected.
Well, I don't think it's right for me to disclose that information at this time. Maybe how about this? And he walks over to one of his bookshelves and he reaches up to the first shelf. He starts looking through some books. I love this one. And he grabs it and he pulls it down and he starts to hand it to you, but he realizes that it's a massive book that will probably squash you if he puts it down. and he like looks down at you, looks at the book, looks down at you, looks at the book. Let me just open up to the page. And he starts like shifting through this book, and you're just like, you're getting so excited because you're just like super pumped up about what might be in this text. And he puts down the book kind of in front of you, and it seems to be like a recipe book. It's like he opened up the page to this fine potato soup that he has discovered how to make. Do you think that your friends downstairs would enjoy a meal such as this? This is one of my favorite journals. I get hungry, up here all alone.
I think they would definitely enjoy something of this nature. I mean, I don't know if we'll have all the ingredients to make it, but I am certain we would be able to assist with something like this.
Oh, great. What did you say your name was again, little one?
Oh, my apologies, good sir. My name is Molfen Zodnik Amarantos Wispintel Green East.
Huh?
You may call me Molfen.
Oh, nice to meet you, little Molfen. My name...
May I ask your name?
Oh, yeah, my name is Zephyros.
Zephyros.
Indeed.
'Tis a pleasure to meet you, sir, and thank you most for the aid in approaching Brinchender.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to get this tower on the move, don't I?
Oh, yes, I will go down and speak to my comrades and see what we can do about trying to get this recipe done for you.
Recipe?
The book.
The book. I must apologize, Molfen. You see, my old age and all the time that I spend sending out and casting these spells, it's had an adverse effect on my brain and my memory. I must apologize.
Wait a moment with that. So, are you telling me if I continue to practice my craft, it will adversely affect my intellect?
Yeah, it just depends on what kind of knowledge you are seeking. You need to be careful when you're sending your mind into other planes. Not all of it may return.
Sending your mind to other planes, is this something you could teach me to do?
I would be afraid to teach you to do this. But maybe at some point, it may be possible. But I need to forget that. I was warned. I need to be careful. Oh, let me get right up here and you see him take his fingers and he starts to put his hand on the navigation orb, and he just moves his fingers up just the slightest bit as he slides his fingers across the orb, and all of a sudden you start to lose your balance a bit as you all start to feel the tower start to move.
Whoa! Whoa!
And Zephyros looks back down at you. Zephyros looks back at you, Molfen, and is like, "Yo, what's your step there? It's open there on the floor."
Thank you, sir. I shall take my leave and head back downstairs for a while to converse with my comrades and see about this meal you have proposed.
Oh, that's right. Meal. I think Before I get to cooking, I shall take a nap.
'Tis always a wise thing to get some rest. Especially with youngins like we have downstairs.
So Zephyros kind of just gives you a nod, Mulfin, and heads over to his enormous bed over here in the corner. And basically, you see him almost, he casts Mage Hand to grab the blanket, and it basically just puts the blanket on him. And almost immediately when his head hits the pillow, he's asleep. And go ahead and roll a perception check for me, Mulfin.
Okay. Yeah. Not great.
Yeah, but you kind of it wasn't a hard one. So as you're kind of looking, you kind of take a glance around the room before you start heading back down to your friends. The ceiling on this room is 80 foot high, and there's another opening above the second floor to another area. You also notice that there's several like slender windows above the top bookshelf that are made with different stained glass, very simple in design, with all kinds of different colors. You also notice that the orb seems to have this glow, and it's kind of just like it hovers there, but it kind of bobs a little bit as it's hovering there about 10 feet off of this little pedestal that's underneath of it. He also, you can tell that the other furnishings in the room, other than the giant-sized bed, is this enormous wooden chest. It's just absolutely enormous. It's 9 foot long, 5 foot wide, and 5 foot tall. So it's towering above your head.
Bigger than me.
Yep, it's bigger than you back here in the back corner. This wooden chest. But that, other than his library of books, his orb, his bed, and that chest, that's really all that you see in this room.
And with that roll, I don't see anything that looks like a spell book or anything that would interest.
Nothing that stands out that would be a spell book, based off of your knowledge as a wizard, but several journals. You just assume that it's just a lifetime full of just him traveling and jotting down everything he's ever learned in these giant books.
Often will take 2 or 3 minutes to take out the little bit of parchment and ink and ink pen he's got, and jot down the information on this recipe that's in the book.
All right,
and bring it downstairs with him.
All right, so Mulfin levitates back down, where we see what would Mulfin be levitating down to? What would the scene be like here with the rest of our players?
Hopefully not what we were talking about in the chat.
That's what happened.
Funny conversation.
I get caught with a spoon peeking out halfway.
Oh my god.
So you guys all notice Mulfin slowly levitating down this 100 foot from 100 foot high from the second story, and his feet meet the ground. And Mulfin, you are back down here. What would you guys like to do at this point? Anything in particular?
Rams.
Well, I think we may get a giant-sized dinner this evening. I wrote down notes on the recipe if anyone cares for it.
Dinner?
But he asked something about this strange potato...
I'm starving.
Some strange potato product. I don't know where we're going to find potatoes on a cloud, but hey. I was not going to disagree with the giant man who really dropped a book on me.
Seems like the thing we don't ask questions about. Gramps, what's up there? Is there any treasure?
Well, he has a rather large chest.
Correct.
3
gnomes long, at least 2 gnomes high.
Oh my god.
He has decided to go take a nap for a while.
He has he?
But isn't the morning? What's he been doing all night?
Yeah, I think it's the morning.
Yeah,
We
it's
just woke up, didn't we?
yeah. You guys just woke up, so it's still morning. It's only
He is
been
a
about
very older gentleman, and he was traveling early this morning to come fetch us. He may have been traveling all evening. Who are you to judge an older
Oh,
man?
did you get any word on that? Do we know why specifically he's kind of looking for us?
He mentioned something, right?
I said, when we spoke before him and I went upstairs, he said, things told him to find us that we would fix the ordinary.
Yeah, that's all
What's
mumbo
so
jumbo.
special
to
about
me.
us?
I mean, like, did he give a proper explanation?
No, he nearly smacked me with a recipe book and then went to bed.
I mean,
That's cranky as you.
Perhaps smack is a bit strong of a word. He held it over my head and made look to drop it, and then realized, ooh, I might kill the tiny creature.
yeah.
Well, it was not threatening. That's good, I guess.
No, he is offering to make us dinner
Hey,
apparently
hey.
once he wakes.
Lovely.
Seems weird,
He's
you
gonna be
know?
asleep for a long time.
Potentially, who knows?
I mean,
Perhaps we should send Callista up there. And Callista is not with us
Perhaps we
currently.
should-
seems like
perhaps
we're
we
just
should figure out what to have
normal
for lunch if we're
people.
waiting for dinner. I mean, speak for yourself, Lachlan.
Moby, you are pretty good at, swimming,
Navigation.
at least.
I'd like to see you do better. I'm gonna get Lachlan in a headlock.
Yeah.
Stop, Moby, stop!
Moby, go ahead and make a strength athletics check. Lachlan,
Is he gonna choke me and kill me?
Lachlan, you can try to either muscle out of it or use your acrobatics to dodge it.
I'm gonna acrobatics.
Okay. All you got to do is beat a 10.
Oh,
Roll off 2.
that's gonna be easy.
Oh yeah. Moby tried to put you in a headlock.
He didn't realize I have butter in my hair.
After he gets out, I'm gonna start chasing him around the lower floor. I'm gonna get my sling out and I'll start shooting pellets.
Moby's gonna kill me.
Diana, what would you be doing during this time? Is anything?
Oh man. Forlornly walking around, looking at the stupid little rock thing that Zulkin gave me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Too soon.
I bring down the mood.
So yeah, Diana is kind of just like walking around, looking around at things, kind of staring at this smooth, almost teardrop-shaped gem in her hands. Kind of can tell.
Hey,
You guys...
I have a question.
Sure.
So there's no stairs in this room. How do we get up?
Well, you get up like this. Morphle will start to levitate back up again.
Stop showing off.
Oh, okay. Cool. Can you tell us how to do that?
Yes, it's years of study, Moby. If you'd like, we can start now.
Well, we have 28
We've
days.
only got- we got 26 days.
Yep.
I
Anyway, we can.
spiritual weapon a
fast
spear
track
and like bring myself up.
Like ride on a spiritual weapon. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, kind of like make a little plate and just float up on it.
I think there's a different spell that does that. So I don't think I don't think a spiritual weapon would do anything other than attack with force damage. So it's not really gonna.
Dang it.
It's
Could
not
we do
really
a
gonna let you.
rope?
Well, if you hand me a rope, I can certainly bring it up there.
Who's got a rope?
I have a rope.
Actually, I think I have a rope as well, or did I throw that away?
Yeah, didn't you get the rope from?
I
You,
kept it off that horseman.
you wrestled it off the Centurum last time.
Beating him with a stick like
You
you.
really going up there while big guy's
I
asleep?
have a water skin.
Shouldn't we
I
let him
have 2
rest?
days of rations, vestments, censer. Don't know what that is. I have incense. An alms box, a tinder box, 10 candles, blanket, a backpack. Yeah, no rope.
Maybe this is what we should do. You have a valid point, Moby. Why don't we send one of our stealthier folks up there to poke around a bit? And the majority of us will stay down here.
I have invisibility.
Oh, that's stealthier than me.
It's stealthier than me.
But I don't have access to roll 20 at the moment, so.
That's fine. We can run with it. We'll theater the mind.
Callista,
Yeah, everybody.
Callista, would you like to
Callista's
look up
with
there?
us. Just she's having roll 20 connectivity issues right now, so we're
More like
running with
Hong
it.
Kong Wi-Fi issues.
Hong Kong Wi-Fi. Yep.
I love it.
would I, levitation allows me to move. Would I be able to ferry these people up there?
I'm not sure. Let's check.
I mean, you could ferry a rope up there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Well, I can definitely carry the
We
rope.
can go
I'm just
gym
trying-
class style.
Lachlan's really
Get
pulling
that
for that
thrill.
rope.
Get that thrill from gym class.
That's
I skipped gym class, so no.
You at a certain point.
the spell can levitate things that weigh up to 500 pounds, so I would assume I'd be able to carry me and one person. Or
Oh,
even
yeah.
two.
Yeah.
Gym class should just be lifting weights. It would
Yeah.
be better that way.
Honestly, if you, I think you could get. I mean, how much does everybody's characters weigh? You might be able to get everybody up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh,
Yeah, how much
I'm
does a
like
no
105.
I'm like 100 pounds.
Okay,
I am like
100,
50.
108 pounds.
108 pounds.
Actually, sorry. I'm
Yeah.
36 pounds.
Yeah, you,
I never
Mo-
calculated.
Molfin, you guys could like, you could pretty much tie each other together with a rope, and you could pretty much levitate everybody to the second story if you wanted to, probably.
So,
We are on light. We could all get in an elevator at the same time, not even be off code. Like,
so Molfin is going to, for those who have seen it at home, Princess Bride Fezzik style the rope around his shoulders and neck and sort of make a couple of little harnesses over the next couple of minutes and have everyone crawl in to levitate them all upstairs.
Awesome. So basically, Molfin tethers everybody together and starts his incantations, and his feet leave the floor, and it's just like as he leaves, then the next person leaves, and then the next person leaves, and all of you are just in this nice tied together line floating up 100 feet
oh, Gramps, why?
to the second story.
Oh, I'm getting PTSD.
And you guys are all now, if you guys will move up on your map, you'll see your tokens.
Oh, this is so weird. We can't be in here while he's sleeping.
And all you hear is this
Just be
massive
quiet.
sound of a giant snoring on this massive bed. You just hear,
That bed is so big.
Thunder!
yeah.
The thunder of a king of storms.
Got him.
Once everyone is up there, Molfin is going to ignore everyone for a few minutes, and I'd like to cast Identify as a ritual on the orb.
Okay, so Molfin, still with this rope wrapped around him and all of his friends, starts immediately casting another spell.
I want to go investigate the chest while this is all going on. Not touch it, just look.
Okay, so Lachlan starts to undo his rope around him, and he's gonna start heading over to the chest. How long does Identify take? Is it an instantaneous spell?
Let me take a look. If I do it as a ritual, I think it's 10 minutes, but
Yeah, ritual. Yeah, I think ritual takes a little
I'm
bit
gonna
of
see
time.
that Muffin's still got the rope wrapped around him, so I'm gonna start running. Try and pull him off his feet.
yeah, so it's a 1 minute spell. As a ritual, it'll take 10.
Okay. All right. So Molfin's just kind of like rolling circles around this, like staring up at this floating, hovering orb that is like 4 times the size that he is. And and Moby, what did you say you were doing again?
Well, we've still got the rope wrapped around us. I didn't think Muffin said he was taking it up, so I'm gonna run and attempt to take him off his feet.
All right, go ahead and make a strength
Stopping
athletics
every
check.
5 minutes. This is ridiculous. We should get a fucking refund.
Go ahead and get a do a strength check, the strength athletics. And are you trying to do that to Molfin or Lachlan?
Muffin.
Okay.
Lachlan said he was taking the rope off, so he's
Oh
not
yeah,
linked.
yeah, Lachlan's not linked. Molfin was so
Uh-oh.
excited he forgot to even untie himself. So go ahead and make. You can make strength or acrobatics, Molfin, to try to see
Okay,
if you
let's
do
see.
acrobatics. Basically, what you're doing is you're getting yourself out of the rope before Moby can drop you. Strength would be more like you're just kind of like just standing your ground as Moby tries to yank on the rope.
You know what? You said strength or athletics?
Athletics or acrobatics, whichever
Okay.
one you want to do. It's either strength or dex
What?
based. Oh,
Strength.
He's going for the athletics. Oh man!
Wow.
So,
Oh, no.
Molfin, you guys see
You guys
Molfin running up like to this orb, so excited. He starts to like pull Moby a little bit towards the orb, and Moby just goes and just pulls back, and Molfin just goes slamming down onto the floor of this second story.
Muffin, be quiet. He's sleeping.
Which order are they tied in? Like, where is Moby in the chain of people?
I would say it would make more sense for him to have been second. Lachlan would have been third, then Diana, then Callista last.
Up in the air, taking Moby off his feet, just levitating. Not far, just so he's like 2 or 3 feet off the ground, just enough so his legs are sitting there and he can't reach. He's just floating, stuck on the rope.
Moby's feet are dangling up in the air as he's pulling the rope back up, hovering above.
Nice.
Molfin, you kind of pass it off as you're like taking a look at the upper side of the orb. You're kind of like, you know, as you're doing this.
I glance it back down.
All right.
And also buying in. I'm going to stay looking up here until I see Lachlan moving away from the chest.
Diana, what would you like to do while you're up here? Anything in particular, or
No,
you're still
not
Princess
really.
Bride strapped to the rope, as Molfin so described it.
Okay. Gosh, I forgot that scene in Princess Bride, so I don't know what that is.
You've never seen Princess Bride?
I have seen it, but I forgot it.
Oh,
yeah.
Forgot what you're talking about.
I
The
don't know what you're
cliffs
talking
of
about either, actually.
insanity!
I don't remember that scene.
That's
Oh, okay.
that's everybody's homework for next week. Is to everybody watch Princess Bride.
I mean, that's fun. So,
Sounds good.
I don't know. She's just being carted around, I guess. It's not really much of anything.
Okay.
Or actually, could she like skim titles and see if there's any like cleric-y books?
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Okie dokie.
Just look behind you. I'm sure there's a cleric book. Just over your left shoulder.
I don't know what.
Oh,
definitely
topical.
There's definitely a giant cookbook right behind us.
Yeah. There's a giant cookbook laying open on the floor.
Okay.
Gus, you're in a legit library. I just realized this.
It's really hard to see a lot of the titles of the books because a lot of them are written. Do you understand Giant?
Yes, I speak
Okay.
giant.
A lot of them are they're written in giant runes, but some of the runes are kind of they're so old that they're kind of scratched off, and it's really hard to see what some of the titles are on the side for you. You do see that there is a book that has an interesting title that seems to stick out to you as something that would maybe give you information on the ordning that he spoke of before. But that's you don't really see anything cleric-y.
Okay.
Cleric-y.
Can I just make a note so I can come back to that and ask him about it later?
Sure, absolutely.
Alright.
So, Lachlan, when you approach this chest, what exactly are you doing?
Is it locked?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Alright. There's a certain amount of morbid curiosity going on right now.
Okay, so you rolled a 12.
How asleep does this guy look? Does he look deep?
He
or
looks
light?
yeah, he looks pretty deep. He's pretty well off.
How big is his chest compared to me?
It's 5 feet tall,
It's taller than me. Okay.
and it's 5 feet wide and 9 feet long.
Can I climb up it and kind of like poke around at the chest hole a little? Kind of see what's going on in there.
Yeah, go ahead and make a an athletics check to climb.
All right. Oh, it's not gonna be good. Oh. Oh no.
You're just kind of like slipping off of it. Like there's no like really good handhold for you to get up there. You're trying to jump and you just can't quite get up to the top of it.
I want to look around and see if anyone saw, like,
Because-
if any of my friends saw me doing that.
Oh, you tried. It's kind of pretty obvious. Everybody, you see, like Callista and Diana have both got their eyes on you as they're watching, and Molfin said he was kind of watching you as he was casting this. Moby might be the only one that didn't notice because Molfin's kind of got him dangling around.
Yeah. I'm just gonna
Sorry.
kind of casually stroll back to everyone and go, "Hey, is there something on the next floor up?"
And
Feeling a little embarrassed at my complete inability to explore that chest.
Okay. Molfin, you continue to cast your spell. You guys continue to hear the giant snoring. Lachlan, that chest just keeps on like
Oh, it's gnawing at
it's
me.
right at the corner of your eye every single time that you turn around. Anything else you guys want to do within the 10 minutes that Molfin is casting this identify spell?
Now that I think about that, floating up here was not a great idea.
Could we float up?
Levitate's a 10-minute spell. I'm going to crash to the earth before I finish my ritual.
How far down is the next floor?
100 feet.
You know what?
I could make it.
Would Molfin know that I can?
Well, Molfin, are you still levitating right now?
Actually, if
Yeah, you're.
Lachlan's walked away from the chest, I would have lowered back down because
yeah.
it wouldn't matter at that point.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You don't have to worry about that.
Like,
Sorry, MJ, I didn't mean to cut you off. Would Molfin know what?
would Molfin know that, like, you know, Lachlan can't levitate, but you know that he can help make sure that we don't die going back down? Like, would we have studied that together? I don't know. I don't know about.
Not
I don't know how
sure.
unpredictable.
Lachlan, Sarah B on chat says, "Be careful. It might be lightning runed."
Lightning. Oh. Dun dun dun.
That's what we have the hunt for.
I think our Monday group had some experience with a lightning rune before.
Arma goes been through all that. They played like Bad Twister, where this gizzard lizard, they almost made them
Almost
die.
wiped the team.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Molfin, you continue to cast your ritual, and eventually, at the 10 minutes of your ritual are up, you feel confident that you have got some solid arcane knowledge of this this arcane floating orb. And what you learn about this is a very rare, wondrous item that does require attunement. It's basically this 7-foot diameter sphere that's made out of thin, polished mithril.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Yes, and there is a large sky cloud rune that's embossed on its outer surface, and it's basically levitating as part of this castle's. It's basically its mechanisms. It's its motor. It's its steering wheel. It's everything.
So this goes bye-bye, castle goes bye-bye.
Well, you learn that if the orb is destroyed or removed from its castle, the castle's altitude and location remain fixed until the orb is replaced or returned.
Okay.
Oh.
So if that orb were to happen to be destroyed or leave this castle, basically it would stay right where it is and it would not move. As an action, you can cause one of the following effects to occur if you are touching the orb.
What?
Okay? So you learn
This is getting
that
crazy.
the castle moves at a speed of 1 mile per hour in a straight line in a direction of your choice until the castle stops or is made to stop, or until another action is used to change its direction.
1 mile an hour is terrible.
It's not very fast.
That's the 26-day travel time.
That's the 26-day travel time. And you guys are traveling pretty far away. If the movement brings the castle to connect to the ground, the castle lands gently on the ground. So you can actually land this cloud on the ground with this orb. The castle, if it is moving, comes to a gradual stop. So that's another option that you can do. You can actually stop the castle gradually with this orb. The third option is the castle makes a slow 90-degree turn clockwise or counterclockwise. And the castle can turn while it is moving in a straight line. So you can basically steer it just like you would a car.
Oh.
Any creature touching the orb knows the altitude of the base of the castle above the ground or water below it. So if you're touching it, you know exactly your altitude.
Wolfen's going to touch it. How high up are we?
Well, it's 10 feet hovering off the ground. So in order to touch it, you've got to get up there.
Diana, can you come over here and toss me at the orb? Come on, Diana.
Diana,
Give me a toss.
did you get that? Muffin's looking for a toss up to the orb.
I'm so sorry. I'm typing something to reply to our chat. What was the question?
Diana, toss me at the orb.
You know I'm like 5 foot even, right?
Well, you're taller than him.
And I'm 3 foot even. Can you toss me or not?
I can certainly try. Okay. I'll try to throw you on top of the orb.
Just at. Doesn't have to be on top. Just get me to it.
Okay, at.
All right. Go ahead and make a strength athletics, Diana. So throw
Let's hope she
Molten.
doesn't throw Molten through it.
There's still attached to the rope. Still attached to the rope. It's not pulling back.
Oh no!
as-
All 100 feet die.
As Diana
Oh, wait, even with
tosses
advantage.
Molfen up, Moby like nonchalantly just yanks the rope, and Molfen goes slamming back down onto the floor. And Diana Molfen is just laying there in front of your feet, just kind of like looking up at you.
Okay, are you injured? Are you injured?
Wow, that was a really good throw, Diana. Way to go. He's like 200 years old or whatever. Be more careful. Come on.
Are you my mummy?
Yeah, Callista did come over real quick and try to, like, as Diana was getting that toss in, Callista tried to, like, to get one hand on him too and like whip him up there, but she kind of like her hand, it's kind of like one of those things where you just kind of like whiff a little bit, and she kind of missed, and Moby just had it timed just right, like he's just like, whoop, and just pulls this rope.
Do you want to try again?
I'm gonna help Wolfen up. Come on, old fella. Let's go. Up you get.
Let us make one more attempt if Diana is willing.
Okay, let's do this. Hey.
Ooh, wow, look at that. Moby, did you want to do anything to prevent this, or are you gonna let this one happen?
Nah.
All right.
I've had
Wow,
my fun.
So Diana this time grabs Mulfin, and she kind of takes a deep breath, gets her composure and her confidence back up. This time
Yeah.
she's gonna do it this time, and she tosses Mulfin up. Mulfin, how exactly is this gonna work? What are you trying to do here?
So my goal is to just get there, touch the orb, and find out how high we are, and then I don't care if I fall or not. If I go over, I don't know how many are coming with me, but
Okay, I'm gonna say as what was that, Diana?
Did I just put myself with him?
No, you guys have a little bit of space between the rope between you, and you're fine because you were like the third person in line, so you got plenty of rope there. Moby might be in trouble, but you toss him up, and I need you, Mulfin, to go ahead and make an acrobatics check for me, just because I want to see exactly how you balance yourself as you're being tossed in the air, because sometimes that's kind of difficult, especially for an old man.
let's go. I got a 2. I'll try it.
All right, not bad. You made over a 10. So it's you wouldn't get any really good scores from the judges for this flight, this 10-foot flight up. You get up there, you throw both your hands onto the navigation orb, and you can tell that you are still 1,000 feet up above the ground. Where you guys got on from Nightstone, and then immediately your hands leave the orb and you start to fall back towards the ground. And go ahead and make an additional acrobatics check for me.
I'm gonna try and catch him.
All right, you can make an athletics check for me, Moby.
This is gonna be bad.
I'm gonna make the DC is the 14 that he just rolled. Mulfin, roll a d6 for me. You take 3 bludgeoning damage as you slam into the floor. As Moby doesn't even get his hands out to catch you, and you just slam into the floor in front of him.
Diana plays and casts a healing word.
Seeing the pain Mulfin is in, Diana comes and says a prayer over you, and heals you. I guess that would be back up to full.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Diana.
Mulfin, you're pretty confident that Zephyros, while he started the cloud in motion, that he didn't change the altitude at all. He just kind of started just getting it to move the 1 mile per hour that you're assuming in the direction of Bryn Shander.
Should we head back downstairs? I'm not sure that this is wise to remain up here too long.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I think we should let him sleep. We've made enough noise, I think.
Lachlan, are you doing anything at this point? I think you're muted. I can't hear you.
Yes, he muted his mic once more, whatever that means. I can see it in the talking
I was muted.
program.
There you go.
Gramps, I mean, we're talking about going downstairs. Could we go upstairs? Is there anything above us? Or are we as high as it gets?
Oh, Lachlan, go ahead and make a perception check for me. As you
Alright.
cast your glance up towards the large hole in the ceiling.
Oh no.
Oh,
You
average.
as you're kind of looking up there, you do see a little bit of a shadow of movement up there. It's only you can just see the shadow. You can't see exactly what's causing the shadow. And
Something's upstairs.
Can I perceive as well?
yeah, anybody can make a perception check here if you guys are all like looking up. Oh my goodness! Yes, you can
Oh, damn.
perceive.
Wow.
I see everything. What do you
I'll
have?
join in as well. Why not?
Yeah, everybody, go ahead. If you want to make a perception check, go ahead.
Ooh, can I get this raven to fly up there?
Oh,
I
genius.
would assume if you ask nicely, Moby.
I think the Raven told Moby what to do, not the other way around.
Yeah, I'll have to fly up there. I'm not even gonna try at the moment.
You made a very valid point, though, Moby. I'll send Poochwa up.
Oh!
Okay.
Yeah, I cut that.
Diana, as you're looking
Well, actually,
up there,
we don't even need that with Diana around.
I'm gonna let Diana's perception roll. You hear not only do you see the same shadows that Lachlan sees. They're relative. You can tell they're relatively large shadows in comparison to your size. You also can tell. You can also hear what sounds like the fluttering and flapping of large wings.
They're freaking dragons.
And you can also hear the scuttling and the scraping of... just the scuttling and scraping sound coming from the roof above you.
Like scuttling and scraping.
And then all of a sudden you hear this call that sounds like an eagle's call. Like this really high pitch. I can't make that sound, but imagine it. Imagine an eagle calling out with this really high pitched screeching noise. It just lets it out. It's almost. I mean, it's almost so high pitched that it's just really hard to. Some people might not hear it. It's just so high pitched, but you can catch it.
It's my elf ears.
Oh yeah.
Hey. You sure can send up your creatures. Don't know if they'll make it back down, but
Poochwa, let's stay down here.
there's a pretty big bird of prey up there, I'm pretty sure. So, do with that what you will. You can
Sounds
your animals up
scary.
there, you can...
Hey, little guy, do you want to go check it out? I'm gonna motion to the raven. He's probably sitting on my shoulder, being an absolute creep.
Yeah, he's just kind of like looking around, taking everything in. He starts to talk into your mind, Moby. He's like, "What? You really want me to leave you to go up there? Where all that racket is coming from?"
Check it out. Yeah, come on.
Everyone's doing it.
Moby,
Cool.
Moby, make a persuasion check on your familiar.
He doesn't do well with this, I don't think.
Ooh,
What?
Diana
look at
persuasion.
that. Nice.
Yeah.
You guys, I tell you what, those are some nice rolls.
Yeah, those dice aren't going in that thing that we showed earlier.
Oh, no way. They're not
Yeah.
gonna burn tonight.
Oh,
Shame pit.
Oh, Moby, well, I guess I'll travel up there if it makes you feel better. But there's work to be done. And he starts to the raven starts to flutter its wings up the 80 feet, kind of in a circular kind of motion up the whole way up to the top. And
Can I just point something out? While this raven is speaking to my mind, I'm just speaking to it. So it's like I'm going insane a little bit.
so all of you can hear Moby talking to this raven, but you can only hear squawks back at him as it communicates. It's kind of you can't tell what the raven is saying, but you can hear Moby loud and clear.
I turn to the others like, I'm not certified for this. I'm not.
Some new level of crazy.
How about this? How far is Moby from the edge?
I mean,
Oh no. Oh no.
he's about 15 feet.
Can I try to give him like a little running shove off the to knock him back downstairs?
It's far.
I think you can. I think you can shove him, but I think you can only shove him 5 feet. Isn't that how far the shove works?
I don't know.
I think it's only 5 feet, and it's like a strength versus strength kind of contested check.
Sorry, I'm pathetic. Let it happen. Oh, and then my raven can tell me what it sees.
Okay. He can you see from your raven, or can he only communicate to you?
I mean, mechanics-wise, I can do both, but character-wise, I don't know that.
Okay.
So, I haven't had enough time to speak to it.
Okay. As the raven disappears into this this what looks like another story of this tower, all of a sudden you start to see like you're seeing through this creature's eyes. So there's these hazy rings that kind of just appear around your eyes that kind of blur at the edges.
Oh, that's dark.
And you start to see what it's seeing. And you can see that there are these 2 creatures upstairs that are kind of squawking at each other. And over in the corner, there's an additional creature. I'm going to see if I have a handout to show you exactly what you see.
What the heck?
I might have a handout here. If not, I'm going to have to find it.
It's probably just a bird collector. Just likes exotic birds.
Bird, aka like
ravens.
something that's like 80
Oh,
feet.
sweet. I do have one. Here, I'm going to... Okay, I'm just gonna put it in your journals. So it's going to be showing up in your journals where you guys can click on it and look at it. Don't save my changes.
Griffins!
What?